Chapter 10.01 A Most Magnificent Person by Skye. Darling appeared with a little tea trolley full of food and drink. Jeremiah swooped onto Stella's shoulders, eating a very long baguette that was full of all sorts of wonderful things. He didn't say a word as he busily broke the baguette into pieces, sending crumbs all over Stella. She didn't seem to mind and grabbed a huge baguette for herself. There was a terrible noise as Six crashed into the room through the open window. Her pigtails were high up on her head and her blue wings were all covered in sand. "You must be Six," said Stella. "I've heard a lot about you." Six grinned. "I've been playing with Goddo," she said, fluttering her wings fast to shake out all the sand. "Six," I said. "Don't worry," said Stella. "Today is one of those days when nothing matters, and you mustn't forget that our beloved darling Jones doesn't mind cleaning up." Darling beamed. "I do love to clean," she said. "All flamingos do, but I especially love cleaning for you, Sir Stella." Stella picked up Darling and whirled her around. Darling looked so happy it almost made me cry. "Careful!" screeched Jeremiah, holding on to Stella for dear life. But I could see that Jeremiah loved being twirled as well. "How could anyone like cleaning?" said Six. "I hate it." "Me too," said Stella, "but our darling is a wizard at it." Jemima entered the room, still cuddling Moat. She wasn't sure about Stella, but Stella was very gentle with her. "Jemima," said Stella. "Jemima," said Jeremiah. "Your name is like mine. Jeremiah, Jeremiah, Jemima." "And I'm Stella. Pleased to meet you." Jemima nodded at both Stella and her parrot, clearly not sure what to make of either of them. "Did you hear that Isla and Filthy are in prison?" Jemima beamed. "Good," she said. "It is good," said Stella, "and I'd say that Angel and Magal are with the High Council right now, ready to pass judgment." Jemima laughed. "I hope their judgment is fast," she said, "as fast as Filthy ripped out my wings." Stella frowned and put her arm around Jem. "I hate them all," said Jem, "but not you. You're brave." "Not as brave as you," said Stella. "I'm told that you and Moat were both hanging over the ocean in a basket." Jem nodded. "I had to try anything to get them to give me milk for Moat, and when we were in the basket the dragon said the rope would wear thinner and thinner and finally we'd crash into the sea. They took bets on how long it would take." Stella knelt down and put her hand on Jem's shoulder. "You have my utmost respect," she said, "all of it. Someone who could do what you've done is a most magnificent person." "You have my respect too," squawked Jeremiah, spitting out bits of baguette as he spoke. Jem beamed. "It's our birthday tomorrow," she said. "We're having a party tonight. Would you like to come?" "Would we like to come?" Stella asked Jeremiah. "Will there be dancing?" screeched Jeremiah. Jemima looked at Blizzard. "Will there?" "There's always dancing at a Marescimar party," said Blizzard. "Okay," said Stella. "I'll be at that party." "I'll be at that party," shrieked Jeremiah. Chapter 10.011 The Birthday Eve Party by Skye. Our birthday eve party was the best time ever. Students of the physics of enchantment decorated the beach with tents that hovered in mid-air. They also made crazy streamers that shifted constantly to create words and shapes, and there were long strings of party lights that moved around in a sort of conga line. Candles wafted about and large bunches of flowers would burst into space and then disappear. The whole place was brimming with magic. Oddly enough, there were lots of Christmas trees. Oddly enough, there were lots of Christmas trees on the beach, and they'd suddenly shower passers-by with clouds of golden dust. As we all walked along the beach, Six asked, "Why are there Christmas trees at our birthday party?" "They're just part of life at Marescimar," said Blizzard. "Christmas isn't once a year, it's all the time." "I've never liked Christmas," I said. "Of course you haven't," said Blizzard. "The time virus wanted you to hate it, with all those cruel things that happened." I nodded. "Once you've been here for a while," said Blizzard, "you'll love Christmas, especially the festival of Christmas at the end of each year." "Yes," said Darling. "Everyone who's ever studied at Marescimar comes home, and I make sure there's the most magnificent feast." I smiled at Darling. She looked beautiful with her feather boas, pink sapphires, and a long pink hat topped with pom-poms. "We do the same for all religious festivals," added Darling. "We just focused on Christmas for you lot because it's your heritage." I nodded. "I don't know many others," I said, "especially not all the religions across the entire universe." "You can study them here," said Darling. "The R and E in Marescimar stand for the first two letters in religion and respect." "Religion doesn't matter so much," said Blizzard. "Respect is the most important thing. No matter what anyone believes or doesn't believe, we teach respect at Marescimar." Darling nodded. "Respect is far more important than belief," she added, "although Christmas is my favourite festival. All flamingos love it. I'm not sure why, but we do." I laughed. "It's a great festival. I just hated it because horrible things happened to me at Christmas time." "Look," said Jemima, "so many fairies." "It's the squadrons from the cottonwood trees," said Blizzard. "Remember the time fairies who flew off to fight the Desgul?" "Yes," I said. "They're back," said Blizzard. "They helped Stella find Isla and Filthy, and then they teased them all the way to the prison island of Idiosa." "What's more," said Stella, joining us, "two massive squadrons heard about your wish that the thieves might be flown through the air and dropped into the Indigo Sea far away from everyone." My eyes opened wide. "On the way to Idiosa," said Blizzard, "the time fairies took Isla and the Overlord right across to the other side of Ephinox and pitched them into the ocean so they could have a big purple wash." My eyes opened even wider. "True," said Stella. "I went with them." I laughed out loud. "They needed it," I said. Stella smiled. "They most definitely did." Then she looked serious. It didn't have any effect. Both of them still pledged allegiance to working with the time virus. That's why we have them behind bars. I nodded, feeling relieved that Isla and Filthy were far, far away from me.